wheel. Hunting.
Welcome back to the E-RIDERZ channel. Today I'm joined by our service tech, Ken. We're here to give you a quick update from Kingsong on the S16. They have just announced a new variant of the S16 called the S16 Pro. The first big change is the motor has changed to a 3000 watt motor with a peak power of 5000 watts.
Yeah, so the new motor, apparently it's going to be more torquey. So then it'll bump up the hill climb. Kingsong's saying it's going to bump up the hill climb power from 40 degrees to 48 degrees.
Which is already an impressive sort of hill climbing capabilities of the S16.
Yeah.
But the fact that it can even do a further 8 degrees is, yeah, blows my mind.
Yeah.
It's seeing the riders going up those steep hills. I was not expecting the S16 to be able to perform that way.
Yeah. For like a wheel with like a similar battery structure to the 16X.
16X, yeah.
To get that kind of punch out of it.
Yep.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, an 84 volt system, just the same as the 16X. But yeah, pulling massive torque, and yeah, I'm really impressed by the capabilities, and I'm looking forward to seeing what footage we can get with riders on the S16 in future.
Yeah, so exciting with the motor, but what about the battery?
The batteries is the second big change for the 16 Pro. They've moved over to the Samsung 50S cells instead of the LG 50LT cells.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that part, just because of it bumps the discharge rate from 14 amps to all the way up to 25 amps.
Yep.
So you'll be able to get a lot more power out of that machine.
Kingsong have been listening to the community, and maybe the original S16 was a little lackluster on some of its specs for the enthusiast riders. So I personally think the S16 standard model is going to still have its place for riders. But yeah, taking the motor upgrade and the battery cell upgrade to that next level could definitely offer an enthusiast rider to have that fun with the S16.
And the speed too, the bump up in speed.
Yep.
With the new cells and the new motor, it's actually bumping up the top speed from 50 kilometers per hour to 60.
So we've got increased top speed, even steeper hill climbing capabilities with these two upgrades.
And I think it's so interesting because of, despite being with the smaller battery and the 84 volt system, it's actually become pretty much in line with the S19 in terms of performance, which is a 100 volt wheel.
Yeah, for the price point that it's at, the S16 offers great value for sure. The S16 Pro is going to cost an approximate $150 more, is what we've heard. So that brings it for our local Australian customers to around $3,299 for the S16 Pro, which offers great value for something as versatile, a suspension wheel. It's like a mini S22. The S16 looks like it's going to be an amazing wheel. But which version?
Yeah.
Which version do we go with? Tell us what you think. Give us your opinion on what proportion of S16 versus S16 Pro should we order in. We can see a need for the S16 Pro for enthusiast riders, but I can also see a bunch of people out there enjoying the S16 in its, in its standard spec, and saving a couple of $100. So yeah, what do you think?
Well, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Hey, I feel like with the regular S16, it kind of sits in that nice spot where it's a good beginner wheel, but with the lower specs, it might be something that you'd grow out of. But with the S16 Pro, it really hits that spot where at 60 kilometers of speed and 48 degrees hill climbs.
Yeah, what more can you really ask for?
Yeah,
if you in that size and that price point of a wheel.
Yeah, like if you're not a real speed demon, then it will sit in that nice spot where it can do most of what you want.
Plenty of power, great acceleration, suspension, convenience. It's got all the bells and whistles, really, doesn't it?
At a cheap price point too.
Yeah. The other change that Kingsong's been working on in the background is taking the S16 and the S16 Pro from that 32, 33 kilo mark down to around 29 to 30 kilos. So they've been trialing changing out to sort of magnesium alloys and to lower the weight. And I think that's another thing that they got feedback from the community. People were like, why is it 33 kilos? Like,
Yeah.
we want this wheel to be, you know, to be a bit lighter. So they are listening to that feedback from the community, and I actually think, yeah, that will be a really good improvement if they can drop the weight by a few kilos.
Yeah. I think that's going to be a great change, just because of at 33 kilos, it was kind of that weird spot where it was a smaller wheel, but it was also quite heavy. And especially for when it comes to just picking it up and walking upstairs like with one hand.
Yeah.
Because of like, once you get past the 30 kilo mark, it starts just like, it's doable, but it's just really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But then down to that 29 kilo, it's like, that might actually be a real comfortable wheel to live with.
Yeah. So looks like Kingsong are doing some, they're listening to the community. They're offering up, you know, us two models of S16 now, and they've and the improvements all seem to you know, to be offering a great wheel. I think the S16 is going to be something to be excited about.
Yeah, and it's all happening before it releases.
Yeah, so we'll probably wrap up on the S16 now, and the whole E-RIDERZ team is heading to Perth this weekend for the ERL Megafast Race Day. So we'll probably be seeing you live from the track when you can tune in and catch us at the track for some adrenaline action EUC racing. And Ken here will be in one of the EUC divisions racing. So yeah, we look forward to being able to talk to you live from the track and share some of the experiences of the race day with you. Till then, ride safe and we'll see you soon.
Wheel update.